Yo, peace was good. We'll get to another hip hop album review. This is part 263. The last album that I reviewed was Shaheem's third album, Man Child, that was released in 1999. I think that was a dope album. There's a little mishaps on the album, but I thought overall it was a dope album. Um, the album that I'll be reviewing tonight is DJ Quik with his fifth album, Bounds and Options, released in 2000. Great year. That was a great year for me. But yeah, and great year for hip hop and music in general. But excuse me. But before I start, I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Salute to y'all. Um, for those that don't celebrate that, I hope you had a wonderful day. Now, with that being said, let's get back into the album. So last time I did a review on his fourth album, Rhythmalism, which I thought was a great um, album. It's like to me, I think in my opinion, it's probably my favorite DJ Quick album. I mean, obviously the first four albums are my favorites, but if I had to choose out of the four, I would have to say Rhythmalism. Just like the production, he really stepped it up with everything. It used to be way too funky, but I've been listening to Rhythmalism a lot more than I usually do. But with that being said, so right after the release of this album, DJ Quick, you know, was kind of a mixed bag for him because I think around 98, 99, his nephew killed one of his close friends. So he caught a murder charge. But then also around that time is when MC8 and DJ Quick had squashed their beef. So that's something that came good out of that. But then also around that time, he actually produced a second to none's album, Classic 2020, that came out in '99. That was a pretty dope album. That was all produced by him as well. And then, later on, finally dropped this album in 2000. All right. So this album has two singles. The singles are "Pictured on a Party," which is like one of his biggest songs in his career, and "Quicker Said Than Done," which is pretty much like a ode to Easy E's "Easier Said Than Done," which I'll get into later on in the video. All right, so those are two singles. All right, show you what the CD looks like. All right, everybody knows that. That's what it looks like. Kind of has like that Skynet Terminator font. It's pretty cool. Has a kind of give you that futuristic kind of look to it. You know what I mean? Open it up. Alright, nothing too crazy. Alright, pretty cool. And as you can see right here, DJ Quick. Yeah, I think he's flipping the bird, giving his middle finger. And he's like kind of giving like a prayer kind of pose. Alright. Take the CD out. Or the booklet rather. Alright. Yeah, Quick, my man. Yes, sir. Pretty cool. Alright. Yeah. Boys on his pimp shit. Alright, so you know how I get down. I'm gonna go through some of the let's see, obviously the producers are DJ Quick, obviously he does all the production. But there is some co-production. Let me see. Yeah, pretty much. Let's just say DJ Quick, and then yeah, let's just say DJ Quick did all the beats, but he did do all the beats. But there was some co-production by G1 with Warren Campbell and Courtney Branch and stuff like that. All right, so now let's get into the features. The features in the album. Features are Mossberg, recipes to him. He dropped an album called Non-Fiction that year in 2000. Yeah, he died. Yeah, he died in 2000. I'll get into that later on. But yeah, Mossberg, James DeBarge of the DeBarge family, obviously. Hudspeth, Shadobi and Mossberg, as mentioned before, AMG. Let's see who else. Eric Sermon, Cam, West Coast Cam. Let's see who else. AMG I mentioned before. Digital Underground, recipes to Shock G. Raphael Sadiq of Tony Tone. sugar free. I mean, what album without sugar free, right? All right, so those are the features. All right, now let's get into the album. All right, then we got track one, "Change the Game," featuring Mossberg, James DeBarge, and Will Husbeth. Um, to me, a dope way to start the album. Kind of has like a futuristic kind of beat. You know, you could tell it's a DJ Quick beat, but it's like more futuristic, kind of like a futuristic funk kind of vibe to it. I thought that was pretty cool. I like the line by Quik when he says, "Can I get a rum and coke? Cause a Keith Smoke made a nigga hum and choke. Blaze and days. Now put me on the stage and I'll change the game in major ways." I thought that was pretty cool. Mossberg, I felt like did his thing too. I thought he was dope. He kind of remind me. He kind of sounds like a younger West Coast version of Scarface, of the Ghetto Boys. His voice kind of reminds me of that. It's like a little hint of like Chubb Rock, like a West Coast Chubb Rock, but more Scarface. That makes sense. That's what I got from. That's what I got. You know what I mean? The vibes as far as his voice and shit like that. So that was track one. Change the Game. That was a pretty dope song. Um, Track two. Did y'all feel that? That's features Shabubi and Mossberg once again. Um, Dope track. In this song, DJ Quick, he pretty much takes shots at the haters and the critics and things like that, and he just hates on like how music at that time was sounding like really repetitive and that kind of thing. Everything by that time everything was like jingles and the sound was kind of crazy because you gotta remember like at that time like the Neptunes was running shit, Timberland, Rough Riders with the Triton, the Cork Triton, so like that was the thing that was like kind of like dominating, especially in the East Coast, and he's practically like, taking shots on that song and that kind of thing. Um, the only thing with this song though, is that I noticed like his voice was kind of like monotone, which was kind of weird. It was like more mellow. I was like, I'm not used to that from Quick. I'm more for like the high pitch, the energetic, the charismatic. It's like with this song, it just sounded like he didn't really have that oomph, that the enthusiasm like he usually does, if you will. But I do like the line when he said, "Take my style, you need it. Cut the shit I'm hearing on the radio is so repeated, so repetitive, not to be confused with competitive. Get a bar of this, you need a sedative. It'll keep you up all night." So I thought it was pretty cool. So pretty much like I said, he's taking shots of all the people that sound the same. There's no originality in the game and that kind of thing. So it was just today. It's like that today. So it's timeless. What he's talking about. So that was track two. That was a dope track. Track three. We came to play, featuring AMG and James DeBarge. There's another dope track right there. It's a braggadocio track. I didn't write any lyrics for that, but that definitely easily could have been a single. For sure. Definitely has single potential in my opinion. So I thought that would have been dope. But so that was track three, We Came to Play. That was pretty dope. Track four, one of my favorite songs of the album, one of my favorite DJ Quick songs of all time. Pitching on a Party. First single of the album. Fucking loved it. I love the video for it, I love everything about it. So in this song, it's talking about throwing house parties, but he also talks about um the responsibility of throwing parties, because you know how it is, because you throw a house party, you bring your friends, but then you know how it is, be like, yo, can I bring my homeboy, can I bring my homegirls? You're not gonna say no. I mean, depending on who you are, you might say yes, you might say no, because you got some characters and shit that don't know how to act, but hey, the more the merrier, let's get it on, right? But just the responsibility of like making sure there's no damage to the house, and you have to end up cleaning up after the party and that kind of thing. And so that's the idea that I got from that song, "Pitching on the Party," because when I heard the song, I just always bob my head to it and things like that vibe. But then like doing the review, just you kind of like reading the lyrics, I kind of understood what the song was about. So I thought that I just had to throw it out there. Everybody can relate to that. But I like the line when he said, somebody bring the potato salad. Let's take a ballot. Who's gonna invite the hoes and make the party valid? Cause we don't need a whole club of food. We don't need a whole crowd full of dudes again. And here comes the police with the big black boots again. Definitely you could relate because you got niggas that that don't know how to act and making mad noise. And you got the neighbors that complain and all that shit. They end up calling the cops and shutting the party down. That kind of thing. We all been there, so yeah, it's all good. So that's track 4. Um, Pictured on the Party, classic track right there, classic West Coast track. Um, Track 5, I Don't Want to Party With You. It's a smooth track. In this song, he talks about he's not always all about partying. He's just all about focus, like being focused and shit, like being more focused. Not always chasing women, not always partying. Just staying away from like negative people and negative energy and that kind of thing. Just energy draining people. Just bad vibes, bad juju, as people would say. That's what I got from that song. I Don't Want to Party With You. So I thought that was pretty cool. Track 6, Motex Records, Part 1 interlude. It's kind of pointless. It's like it's like Quik and his boys like in a hotel, motel, just bullshit and just talking, whatever. So I could have done without that. So that was track 6. Track 7, Sexuality. Obviously it's a sex track. Once again, just like with the song, did y'all feel that? He's rapping like a monotone voice, and I just wasn't a fan of that song. To be honest with you, could have done without that. Honestly, I'm just not used to hearing Quik like that. All right. Track 8, How Come? That was a pretty cool song right there. So relatable, not relatable, but everybody could kind of relate to this. Like where when before you got put on, um, nobody was really fucking with you. But then it's like when you get famous now, everybody on your dick, or you have like some type of accomplishment, whether you have a new car, a new this and that, or third. You got all these people out of the woodworks that you don't even fuck with, but they come talk to you, be like, yo, they be like on instant message, yo, can I borrow some money or some shit what the fuck, like, sheesh, like, shit like that, and things of that nature, and people's, just shit bullshit, this leeching ass people, you know what I'm saying? So, and just because you got the fame, like, they kind of want to attach you, they want to like be your leech and shit like that, kind of mooch off his shit. It's like, nah, fuck you. So, yeah, now everybody's all over his dick and shit like that. So, that song right there. So, definitely a dope track right there. So, that was track 8, How Come? Track 9, You Ain't Fresh, featuring Eric Sermon and Cam, aka West Coast Cam. Very controversial track. Reason being is because in this song, he's taking shots at Dr. Dre. Reason why he's doing that is because I gotta get it. Reason why he's doing that is because DJ Quik, him being a fan of NWA, him having a rapport with Eazy-E, the late great Eazy-E, because they were like friends and shit like that. DJ Quik always wanted NWA to like reunite, like just like everybody else wanted to reunite, kind of work with him, kind of like not like replace DJ Quik, Eazy-E, but in so many ways. And so in the song, what's the difference between me and you? Dr. Dre took shots at DJ Quik without using his name. So there was a line where Dre said, "I got these fake ass niggas. I first blew with claiming they're non-violent, talking like they spit venom in interviews, speaking on reunions, move units that talk shit, and we can do this. Until then, I ain't speaking your name. Just keep my name out your mouth, and we kept it the same, nigga." So that was on the song "What's the Difference" off the Crown 2001 album, which is a dope album. Then DJ Quik responds, the number 23 on the beats, which he talked about. He's comparing himself to Michael Jordan with making beats. Um, About to do you, Mr. Blake, aka DJ Quik, talking to you, and I'll prove I'm clever and your game is whack. With one line, I'll never put my name on the track that wasn't mine. This is another shot because everybody knows that Dr. Dre, in the past, he gotten credit for beats that he didn't really do. Um, i.e., some of the songs on Doggy Style, songs like Doggy Dog World, Daz did that. I think Serial Killer, I think Daz did that. I don't remember, it's been a while, but there was some songs that Daz did that Dr. Dre got credit for, but Daz never got credited for. I think Daz did Lottie Dottie, cause that sound more like a Daz track, and that definitely sounds like something that could have easily been on Dog Food and stuff like that. But he's just saying that, so he's taking shots at Dr. Dre about that, and that's been known. So, but he takes shots at that. Then he says this hip hop shit is getting stupid again. This nigga, this nigga's guns to him fighting and getting ruthless again. There's a message in that big book. Didn't you read it? If niggas don't remember that the past, they're gonna repeat it. So I'm living guarded gates, guard gated, background hard stated, and we all made it. If you want to hit, nigga called David. So yeah, so obviously that's a shot towards Dr. Dre. So he kind of went at it with Dr. Dre, but I think at that by then they pieced it up because they worked with the Nocturnal with Truth Hurts and all that stuff. So yeah. All right, so that was track 9, You Ain't Fresh. That was a pretty dope track. Track 10, Roger's Groove. It's just an instrumental track dedicated to the late great Roger Troutman of Zap. Um, Both Larry and Roger Troutman died in a murder suicide. Larry shot Roger Troutman. Then Larry Troutman ended up committing suicide a few blocks away from the studio that he killed his brother. You know what I mean? So it was pretty much like a dedication to Roger Troutman with the Troutman family. More so Roger. So he called it Roger's Groove. So that was pretty cool. That was a pretty good it's a nice beat, and it's a nice dedication to Roger, and especially since everybody in the West Coast sampled his music. So that's it right there. All right, so that's track 10, Roger's Groove. Track 11, Motec Records 2 Interlude. It's a continuation of Motec 1, so didn't really get anything out of that. Track 12, Quicker Said Than Done. It's pretty much him paying homage to Easy E with the song from the song Easier Said Than Done, but he's doing it Quicker Said Than Done, which was actually the second and final single. I'm gonna be real, so I didn't really like this song. I'm gonna keep it real. I prefer Easy E's original version. That's just me. I mean, he doesn't sound bad, but I don't know. I'm just more of a fan of Easy E's version. That's just me personally. So, I could have done without that song, honestly. So that's just me. I know I might catch some hate for that, but I'm more of the Easy does it type of guy. So that's just me. So, but I respect it because, like I said, he's paying homage to his homeboy. So, it's what it is. All right. So that was track 12, Quickest and Done. Track 13, Straight from the Streets. It's just an interlude, nothing too much to it. All right. Track 14, Speak On It, featuring Mossberg and AMG. Rest in peace to Mossberg. He was a protege of DJ Quik. He was a young kid. I think he was like in his early 20s when he passed away. I think he was 21. He was a blood too. Um, he actually dropped an album called Nonfiction that dropped back in 2000. And he actually got killed on July 4th of that year. But he died after the release of this album. This album came out in May of that year in 2000. The Nonfiction album, I think dropped. I think before his death or after his death or something like that. I don't remember. Or I think Nonfiction came out before this album, and then this album dropped, and then Mossberg died in 4th of July in 2000. So yeah, but yeah, getting back to Speak On and feature Mossberg and AMG, dope track. braggadocio track. I like the line by Mossberg when he says, "Respect a nigga who done been through war, sport a battle scar, but there's a lot of fake niggas sporting a fake crown, straight about the swap meet, busting on whack underground." Yeah, that's fucking dope. I love that. Shout out track 14, speak on it. Track 15, Do What You Want, featuring Digital Underground and AMG. Dope track. I didn't really write anything to it. That's another song I could have easily seen a video for that would especially around that time. But rest in peace to Shock G, man. Yeah, it's just so I was shocked when he died, man. Crazy, man. But I know him and Pac are making bangers right now. They reunited. They're making fire right now. So, you know what I'm saying. I know the sessions up there would probably fire. You know, as we know, because Shock G, very underrated producer. All right. Track 16, Mossberg, featuring Mossberg and Raphael Sadiq of Tony Tone. It's another dope track. I like the line by Quik when he said, "I'm in this for something so different that you couldn't imagine. The style, the fineness, the beautiful holes, the pout, the highness, the pitiful lows that keeps a major player like me on his toes." Fucking dope. I love that. I like that flow. I thought that was dope. That was pretty dope. That was track 16. Well, track 17, Groove. Groove. 5. Cause you know, what DJ Quick do you have, and you don't have a quick screw? Like, come on. Like that's blasphemous. You know. I don't know if he did it on his later albums. 'Cause I do have some of his later albums. I do have Trauma. I do have Under the Influence. I have to get the Midnight Life. I have to get the Book of David. I think he just dropped a new album. I think this year or last year or something. I don't remember. I know he has a new single out. I wasn't too crazy about it. I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't really care for it too much, but that's just me personally. But Quick Screw 5, dope instrumental. Fucks with it. This is dope. Uh, track 18, Do I Love Her, featuring Sugar Free. I did not like this song. I don't like it's like DJ Quick was trying to do like a kind of like a whispering song, like a whispering, like it's like no, dude, like no, Quick, don't do that. That's not you, fam. Like, nah, fam. That wasn't it. I wasn't a fan of that at all. But the beat is dope. Dope beat. It's the whispering flow I was not digging from Quick. Um, so yeah, do I love her? Nah, I don't love her. Track 19, the divorce song featuring James DeBarge. That's actually a James DeBarge solo track. Um, yeah, dope song, dope beat. James DeBarge does his thing on that shit. And then balancing options. Track 20, the outro. Nothing too much to it. All right, man. Overall, I feel like this is a decent album. Um, I don't think it's one of his. It got a good handful of tracks. It's not one of my favorites. I don't think it's like one of his best albums. I know a lot of people like this album. It's kind of a mixed bag. Not one of my favorites. It's not a bad album. I just felt like with DJ Quick, I felt like it felt a little rushed in my personal opinion. It's not like well thought out like he usually puts his albums out because because he came out with Quick as a Name in '91, then he came out with Way Too Funky in '92, then Safe and Sound back in '95, then Rhythmism in '98, then he dropped this in 2000. Around this time, like, in the late '90s, early 2000s, like he was saying in the song, "Did you feel that?" When he tells no, I'm sorry, forgot this song, but he talks about how everything is repetitive and that kind of thing. Everybody sound the same, and you guys gotta remember too. At that time, Napster had just came out, so that was another thing too, because people started downloading music. Me, hey, but I still buy CDs, right? But I was still buying CDs at the time, but like, why should I spend $20 for a CD when I can get this shit for free? So that's the shit he was dealing with. So he didn't like the way things were going with the industry at that time. So He said in an interview like he didn't really put his best into this album because of that. He was just kind of disillusioned with the industry of what things was going on with Napster and things like that. And you know what, Nas with the I Am album got leaked and he had to redo the album, that kind of thing. Mobb Deep with Murder Music with Style was supposed to drop in '98, but that got leaked, so they had to do a whole new album. So it was just crazy, but it's a decent album. You know, it's not bad. It's not one of my favorites, but it definitely got some decent tracks, man. I just didn't like the whispering or the monotone, quick delivery. I wasn't feeling that. Um, but the good songs do outweigh the negative. But it's just not one of my favorites. I to this day I still think his first four albums are his best albums. That's just my personal opinion. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. DJ Quik, Bouncing Options, released in 2000. I've noticed that this album has gone a little up in price. I've kind of noticed that. Could be because Profile Arista Records, because I think by this time he was with Arista Records. And another thing too, with this album, he it didn't sell very well, in Arista's way of seeing things or how they put shit out, and he actually got dropped by the label. So I think this was the last album that he was under a major record label, and he started doing more and he went independent after that. But so this was like the last kind of like his exit out of the industry, if you will. You know what I mean? So that makes sense. So just had to throw that out there. So he was on the Arista Records. Rhythmalism, I believe he was on the Profile. That was the last song he did on the Profile. And then, cause he's been trying to get out that record label for a while. Cause even Run DMC was trying to get out of Profile, and I think Special Letters also was on Profile too at one point. But yeah. But yeah, DJ Quik, Bouncing Options. Let me know what you guys think, alright? Y'all be easy. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace.